So hi everyone. I'm probably going to be boring you for another couple of minutes. And I'm saying boring you because we know how these things go, right? It's a regular presentation. It takes presentation format. It's a tech event, So I'll try not to bore you too much. I'll try to move through the slides as fast as possible so that if we have questions, we can always easily go through the questions. All right. So yeah, can I have is it up already? All right, so you've already met me, Adeyinka Alabi. I prefer to be called Yinka for short, okay? I feel like the whole Adeyinka is just too very formal and all whatnot, all right? I'm QA lead rather at Raynest/GeekPay. Some of you probably know of us. Some people know us as Raynest, some people know us as GeekPay. So a lot of times when I'm making reference to us, I'm going to just be saying Raynest/GeekPay. All right, so the context for our conversation today, with fintech transforming how we handle global payments, quality assurance. Oh, no, I wasn't asking you to change actually. Quality assurance and security have become the backbone of trust in this fast evolving industry. For businesses and freelancers navigating cross-border transactions, a seamless, secure experience is essential. Ensuring high standards in QA and security isn't just a best practice, it has become a necessity, right? For delivering reliable services that meet users' expectations across diverse markets. As fintech solutions grow, so does the need for rigorous quality and security measures to protect data, reduce risks, and build lasting trust in every transaction. Sorry, the tech guy? Yeah, sorry, this is... Okay, yes. Okay, so introduction to fintech cross-border transactions. Fintech growth. Fintech's rapid growth is driving a shift to digital payments and seamless cross-border transactions, enabling global business and remote work like never before. Sorry, I think I want to just come a little closer here. So some of y'all can see me better, and there's some glare there that's distracting me, sorry. Enabling global business and remote work like never before. Complexity and trust needs. Cross-border transactions introduce challenges like currency exchange rates, regulatory compliance, and diverse legal standards, requiring robust, secure solutions to maintain seamless user trust. We need trust as a pillar, obviously. Trust is the foundation of fintech. Clients rely on fast, secure transactions that comply with local regulations, making reliability essential in every transaction. The simple truth is, let's be honest with ourselves. How many of us have ported from GT Bank of recent? Be honest. Don't worry, I won't judge you. I'm not the CEO of GT. Like, why did you move? Because you couldn't trust them, because they were seemingly no longer reliable. So that's why trust as a pillar is very, very essential. All right. So what are the key challenges in cross-border fintech transactions? Jurisdictional complexity. Data privacy laws, transaction limits, fraud regulations vary across regions, making seamless border transactions complex and requiring careful compliance in each jurisdiction. There are also security risks. Cross-border payments carry increased risks of fraud and data breaches due to multiple financial systems interacting, heightening the need for strong security measures. Then quality assurance challenges as well. The quality assurance for cross-border fintech must tackle technical challenges like testing across different networks, diverse devices and internet conditions to ensure consistent performance worldwide. So what's the importance of quality assurance in fintech? Building trust through consistency. Consistent quality builds trust as users expect their money to be safe and transactions to be reliable, fostering long-term confidence in the platform. What's the QA's role in user experience? QA directly impacts user experience. Ensuring smooth, error-free transactions is crucial for user satisfaction and retention, especially where even a single mistake can undermine trust. QA as a preventative measure. Early QA intervention saves costs by identifying issues before they escalate. For example, proactive testing at readiness/give-pay has prevented a potential transaction error, saving both resources and customer trust. We have those come up a couple of times. Obviously, stuff taken care of on our own end. Users won't get to see that, and all those kind of issues are prevented before they get to the user. Best practices in quality assurance for QA, in QA for fintech. Comprehensive test coverage. Comprehensive testing includes functional, performance, security, and localization tests to ensure a seamless, secure, and tailored experience for users across different regions. For example, we have stress testing for transaction flows or conducting load testing during peak hours to ensure the system can handle high volume cross-border transactions without failure. We also have automation in testing. Automation in testing streamlines repetitive tasks like currency conversion and account balance validations, improving efficiency and consistency while reducing human error. Okay. Trying to reduce human error, sorry. Continuous testing and integration, CI/CD. CI/CD practices enable rapid deployments without sacrificing quality, ensuring the platform stays updated with the latest features and security patches while maintaining reliability. User-centric testing. User-centric testing ensures real-world relevance by simulating local and international scenarios, such as varying devices and slower internet speeds, to optimize performance for diverse users. There's also scalability testing, and this ensures the system can handle high transaction volumes smoothly, particularly for readiness/give-pay clients who process multiple daily cross-border payments. Penetration testing simulates cyber attacks to identify vulnerabilities before malicious actors can exploit them. Regular penetration tests help strengthen our security measures and ensure our system is resilient against potential threats. Okay. Security in fintech, key principles. One of the key principles for security in fintech is data encryption, right? It protects sensitive information by using end-to-end encryption, ensuring data security across networks, and preventing unauthorized access during transactions. There's also MFA, multi-factor authentication. This adds an extra security layer, reducing the risk of unauthorized access by requiring multiple verification steps before granting access, what we popularly know as 2FA, right? Then fraud detection systems. They use real-time tools to analyze transaction patterns, identifying and stopping fraudulent activities before they affect users. We also have regulatory compliance, such as GDPR for data protection, PSD2 for EU transaction security, and these ensure fintech platforms meet global standards, adapting to each country's legal requirements. Okay, best practices for securing cross-border transactions. One of the main best practices for securing cross-border transactions is you need to have a balance of like 1.5 naira in your account. 1.5 million rather. Are we following? The fact that your faces are looking blank, it tells me you're not following. Because what I just said was rubbish. I said best practices for securing cross-border transactions, you need to have at least 1.5 million naira in your account. Really? Are you sure you're following? Am I boring you too much? If I'm boring you, we can stop. It's no big deal. All right, so let's move on to the best practices for securing cross-border transactions. Strong identity verification. Strong identity verification methods like ID checks, biometric logins, and KYC protocols ensure secure user authentication and prevent unauthorized access. We also have monitoring and auditing. Continuous monitoring detects anomalies in real time, while regular audits help refine security measures and ensure ongoing protection against threats. Regular security updates and patches. Timely security updates and patches are essential to fix vulnerabilities, prevent cyber attacks, and also protect against threats like ransomware, ensuring the platform remains secure. There's also the need for secure API design. Secure API design allows seamless third-party integrations while protecting data by using encryption, authentication, and access controls to prevent unauthorized access. Data privacy protections. Data privacy laws, such as users' rights to their own data, are very crucial. Best practices like encryption, secure storage, and transparent data handling ensure compliance and protect user privacy. I don't know if it's the battery or something. Okay, so challenges in ensuring high standards for fintech applications. One, we have regulatory compliance, and this involves navigating various standards and changing policies across regions. Cross-border transactions require constant tracking to ensure adherence to local laws, data protection regulations, and financial standards, minimizing legal risks and maintaining trust. There's also balancing scalability with security, and this is crucial in fintech, as systems must handle large transaction volumes without compromising their security. This challenge is especially pronounced during peak times, like now we have the whole Black Friday and all whatnot. So peak times like this, this challenge is essentially pronounced, where maintaining performance and protecting data integrity are both very, very essential. We also have localization complexity, and this involves adapting the platform for different currencies, languages, and cultural contexts. I deliberately didn't put languages because currently for GigPay we don't get support beyond English, but yeah, localization also involves different languages as well. And cultural context, ensuring a seamless and relevant user experience for clients worldwide, regardless of their location. The evolving threat landscape in fintech includes risks like phishing, cyber attacks, and data breaches. To stay ahead, continuous vigilance, proactive security measures, and constant adaptation to new threats are essential to protect both the platform and its users. Okay, so Rainer/GigPay's approach to quality and security. All right, so we have commitment to secure solutions, right? Rainer/GigPay prioritizes security across all cross-border transactions by applying security-first principles, including encryption, fraud detection, and compliance with global standards, ensuring that every transaction is safe and reliable for business and freelancers. We also practice robust QA processes. Rainer/GigPay's robust QA processes include comprehensive testing frameworks and automated test coverage, ensuring transaction flows are thoroughly tested for performance, security, and functionality to maintain a seamless user experience across all platforms. Security measures we put in place. We employ stringent security measures, including data encryption, multi-factor user verification, and advanced fraud detection systems to safeguard every transaction and protect sensitive user information. Compliance focus. Rainer/GigPay prioritizes global compliance by continuously adapting to regional regulations, ensuring that all cross-border transactions meet the highest standards of security, data protection, and financial integrity across diverse jurisdictions. Not exactly a case study, since we're not exactly going to be discussing it, but it's just like a generic info of something that has happened previously. So during a major cross-border event, a client needed to process thousands of transactions across multiple currencies and jurisdictions within a short time frame. This involved navigating complex compliance regulations and ensuring data protection standards were met. The outcome and impact. Rena/GigPay's security-first approach, including real-time fraud detection, compliance checks, and automated transaction monitoring, ensured smooth processing without any delays or breaches. As a result, the client was able to meet the global business needs on time, fostering trust and reinforcing Rena/GigPay's reputation for reliable, secure cross-border transactions. Today is Friday, TGIF, yay! I'm pretty sure a couple of us are going to be out tonight. I don't know about you, because you people are pretending to be dull people. Me, I'll be out tonight, that's sure. There are a lot of times I'm out on Friday nights, and I just check my account, I'm like, hey, no funds. And Dorime Abi, what do I do? As a user of GigPay, trust me, within 5 minutes, I already have my Naira in my account, right? That trust is there. I just easily log in, do my conversion from FX to Naira, send it to whatever. I mostly prefer to use OPay. And I'm pretty sure those of us that use OPay, we would understand why I use OPay. Why? Because they are reliable, they are trustworthy, right? So I do that very easily, and Dorime continues. Amen, somebody? All right, so the simple point here is that trust. If the trust is not there, I would rather maybe borrow money, maybe 5 hours before I go out, so know that, look, my mind is at rest. But my mind is at rest anytime I go out. I know that, hey, even if I've run out of Naira, I can always just, go and get some FX, quickly convert it on my GigPay, and voila, I'm safe. Okay, so key takeaways. Importance of QA and security. Quality assurance and security are critical in building trust in fintech platforms. By ensuring transactions are secure, compliant, and reliable, these practices not only protect user data, but also create a seamless experience. Consistently meeting high standards enhances user loyalty as clients feel confident that their financial transactions are safe, fostering long-term relationships and trust in the platform. Balance of technology and regulation. Blending advanced technology with strict regulatory adherence creates a balanced foundation for a trusted user experience. By leveraging secure platforms, automated compliance checks, and real-time fraud detection, fintech companies can innovate while meeting the legal requirements of diverse regions, ensuring users can trust that their transactions are both cutting-edge and compliant with local regulations. Rena/GigPay's role. Rena/GigPay is dedicated to enabling safe and efficient cross-border transactions, providing businesses and freelancers with a secure platform that meets global standards. By combining robust security measures, seamless user experiences, and regulatory compliance, Rena/GigPay ensures that clients can confidently manage local and international transactions with ease, steeze, and trust. Sorry, I just had to rhyme. My bad. I like to say this a lot. For those of us who are religious, in God we trust. The simple reality is even God himself needs to earn our trust for the most part. He does something for you, and then you kind of trust him. Now, if he needs to earn your trust, how much more other systems? So in God we trust, but every other thing must be tested, because trust can only be built based on tests that have given reliable results. At this point, I think we're good, and I would like to get any questions. So if you have any questions, feel free. I guess you just signify by raising your hand, and I guess the technical crew will. We'll get. Yeah, okay. All right. So if you have questions, let me just see your hands up real quick. Okay. So I see you. I see you. While we're waiting for them, any other person with questions? Okay. 3. Starting from here, please.
Hi, good morning. My name is Peter.
Yeah.
I just two questions. Number one, what's the relationship between QA and security, or are they together in a department? QA and then for gig pay, do you do B2B2 or is it only B2C that you do?
All right, thank you. Great questions. Now, quality/testing and security, they are a bit intertwined, but at the same time, we have stuff that we do that is kind of more or less just restricted to quality testing and all. And then there are other things that are mostly restricted to security. For example, pen testing, for example. While as a QA team, you can have some guys who are probably good with pen testing and cyber security. The reality is, for the most part, those are more dedicated teams and fall under security, right? You will not on a normal day or hire a pen tester to just come and test the regular user flow of an app. You want to test the regular user flow of an app and have an idea of how users would feel when using the app. You're not going to call a regular pen tester. You most likely call a regular QA person, right? And even for automated tests, ideally you will not go call someone who's like a pen tester or a cybersecurity person, right? They are more dedicated to security. But the reality is QA can also dabble into a little bit of security testing, but for the most part, don't go so deeply into it. It's kind of akin to saying the fact that a QA ideally should have some understanding of setting up CI/CD pipelines, right? And in a very, 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 very ideal world, that is really leaning more towards DevOps. But what if the company doesn't have a DevOps team, right? So the QA can still know some of that. And even if they have a DevOps team, it's okay for the QA to know some of that, but it's really more on the turf of the DevOps person. Okay, and then we also have B2B, right? In fact, that's even the real reason, the major reason for the slight use of both names. Right, Rainest is more for B2B, and GigPay is more for individuals/freelancers. All right, thank you. Sorry, the second person here. Where's the mic? Yeah, second person here. Right here. No, here.
Okay, hi. I'm from I think as a professional in this space, right, you'd agree that at least security-wise, the users are like the weakest points in the system, right? It doesn't matter how secure you make your platform if somebody just gets phished and they send the money to somewhere else, right? And that's really interesting, like Nigeria-wise, 4 years of uni, right? Studying computer science, and then I know like 10 people in total that use password managers. One of the like smartest people in my course, they're like, my account got hacked the other day because I gave my 2FA code to somebody. And then people are always like, use 2FA this, use 2FA that. My aunt is going to a uni, and they're like, to access your courses you need 2FA, and she's just confused. You have people like Ricky Mondello, like that's like head of like authentication at Apple, yapping every day about how passkeys are the future. Passkeys will solve everything. But the education and making users informed of what they should do, don't use passwords, use 2FA, use MFA. Passkeys are unphishable. We are moving to those. The user education, I think, is where most people are the weak link. So I guess I'm asking, what's GigPay/Rainest doing about that? And what would you like to do? What's the future? How do you plan to tackle that in the future? But then also, how are you tackling that right now? User education around security.
Okay, great question, actually. The simple reality is users would always be users, right? There would always be educated users and non-educated users. And please, mark my words, by educated, I don't mean you went to school. Okay, yeah, some people actually go to school and they are not educated. Right? And some people did not go to school and they're educated. You get the point, right? In December, for example, my dad's WhatsApp was hacked. How about that? Right? And it took a while of trying to liaise with him, and get the accounts, recover the account, right? Generally, we encourage users on our platform. In fact, a lot of times, once you're a new user, or even if you've been using the platform for a while and you haven't enabled certain things, there's certain things that certain notifications that pop up. You know, you might find yourself logging in and you see a notification popping up asking you, hey, would you like to enable biometrics? Would you like to enable some notifications? Once in a while, we send out information based on notifications to our users, about 2FA and stuff like that, right? The reality is, even in the future, there would always be security threats. And it's always more on how much the users are educated, right? We do our part to try to inform the users, but there is little you can't enforce a user. Information is always out there. On my family platform, I had put a message previously about 2FA, right? Previously. Then my dad got hacked. Then I remind everyone again, do 2FA. Guess what? 2 months later, my aunt got hacked. What can I do? You can only force a horse to go to the stream, but there's a limit to how you can try to force the horse to drink, right? In general, there are newer technologies, newer inventions, newer innovations, but the simple reality is, just like you said, the user is always the weakest link, and the issue is really more about how educated the user is, right? We keep doing what we can, right? And maybe we need to pay a little bit of more of attention to that. Maybe going forward, I'll take this as feedback. We might want to send a little bit more of information, notifications, and all to our users, just to enlighten them. Maybe sometimes we might send a message to them, letting them know that there is this page dedicated, to setting up their account securely. And if they have any more questions, they can always reach out to us. But thank you very much. It's a great question and great feedback as well. I had one other question here. Is the mic? Yeah, I have a question here. Right here in front here.
So, hi, my name is Oluwatobi. And
yeah, sorry, I want to speak up a little.
Okay, hi, my name is Oluwatobi.
Yeah,
and my question to you is more scenario based.
Okay.
So, how would you handle compliance? Say a user from country A is sending a certain amount of money to a user in country B, where the user in that receiving country is not allowed to receive that amount of money, basically.
Okay. Now, you've asked me a compliance question, and I like the fact that you know that I'm a Kiwi guy, right? But I think I can answer that without giving too much information about what I don't know, or giving too much information about what I do know and you should not know, right? In general, those kind of things, when they come into the system would accept it, but it will most likely be put under review, whereby someone within the compliance team then takes it up. Now, whether they're going to approve it or they're going to deny it is obviously depending on the information they have about the user. For example, I don't want to believe that you sign up on a platform, and you're, particularly as a Nigerian platform, and your name is Pablo Yahoo, and you expect me to, I don't even need to be a compliance guy. You're laughing. Will you approve it? No, seriously, right? So if they go through their risk factors, and they flag this user as maybe high risk, and they feel, hey, you know what, we don't want to approve this, then they may deny it, right? And if they deny it, the user can always have the opportunity to reach out to customer support and find out more about the reasons, right? But normally, ideally, that's how we handle stuff like that. We'll allow you to come in, but put it under review, let the compliance guys do their thing, right? And whatever happens, if they feel like they want to approve it, then they can go ahead and approve it, and the user will get it. Otherwise, they can deny it. The user will most likely get aware, probably notified, and then the user can maybe strike up a conversation with the customer support team. All right. Any other question? Okay, there's a question here.
Good morning.
Yeah,
my name is Stella Maris, and I recently completed a training in quality assurance, and I want to ask a career-related question.
Okay.
How did you break into the industry as a quality assurance person or software tester, as the case may be? Because I feel like we are a bit underrated. And my second question is, how much coding do I need to know to be a good QA tester? Like, what programming language should I focus on learning, to do well in the industry? Thank you.
Okay, great question. I would say for programming language, start with Yoruba. It's the best. All right, I'm kidding. All right, I love your question. And I love something you said about, QAs tend to be underrated. And I'll try to speak a bit to that. Probably I might end on this because I want to be as elaborate as possible. The simple reality is, let me focus on you. If you had some great idea of a product that you want to build, right? Let's say you don't have coding skills, right? What are you going to do? Who are you going to employ first? You're going to employ a developer, right? Now, I'm saying a developer in general. Let's not go into, maybe backend, full stack, blah, blah, blah. Simple. Let's keep it as simple as possible. A developer. Would you start by employing a QA? Why? Because there's no product to test, right? Now, there is that one first. Now, supposing you employ the developer and the guy is 10x, he's badass, he's so awesome. You don't have any problems, or you have very minimal problems with the application. Would you feel the need to employ a QA? You're being sincere. So, in reality, for the most part, devs would just naturally be more needed than QAs. It's not to say that QAs are not needed, right? But very often, particularly when the application is simple, right? Or a lot of times for startups, they're trying to start up with the product itself. They're trying to push the product out. They need people to know this product first, to interact with it. They probably need to, earn some money. And then when they're getting to that particular point, or it's getting it too large or a little complex, then at that point they know that, hey, you know what, we're having a lot of things to test. Sometimes maybe they don't trust the developers in the house. We know ourselves. We know the kind of beans we normally cook, but we'll come back to that, right? I mean, the annoying thing about it is sometimes we know we did it. We know it's there. In your heart of you are one of them. It's there. You pushed it deliberately, but God will help you, right? So when we get to that point, obviously, right, the company would then decide to hire some QA, right? And then irrespective, a lot of times the ratio of QA to dev is, mostly would have more devs than QA simply because of the same reason. They're trying to build features. In fact, the reality is, for the most part, if an application is looking very, very awesome, except you are a QA person, or you are a dev that really knows a QA person, by default, if you were going to comment on the application, wouldn't you be like, the software engineers that build this thing, they're bad. Nobody knows the QA guy. The QA guy is like the person cleaning ministry in church. He's the one cleaning the chair. The dev is like the pastor. Amen, hallelujah. You understand? So everyone tends to see that person. The person seems to be a bit more at the forefront, right? But I'm not saying QA is not important. Obviously, it is, but it's just what it is. We almost always have more devs for all these other reasons. But what can you do? Let me start by how I got into QA in the first place. I actually started off as a developer, right? And then the company I was with, they outsourced talent to other companies. And so I found myself being outsourced to a company, the opportunity came, I got to be able to get outsourced to a company that wanted QAs, right? And they didn't mind having them at the early stage, right? So that's kind of how I found myself in it. Stayed there for a while. Before I knew it, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 5 years plus X, I've been in the space, and gradually I'm like, hey, you know what? I think I like it here. I would like to stay here. But what can you do to make yourself very relevant? Know what you do very well. Know your onions, know your garlic, okay? Know your stuff, know it very well. And then also expose your mind to automation. There is no single language that is more important than others, right? But for the most part in QA, is likely going to be Java, JavaScript, or Python for the most part, right? Those languages at least will scale for the most part, right? But there's no language that is preferred over the other, right? So, but no other frameworks, learn a bit more about CI/CD platforms, and you should be good, okay? I think my time is up right now, so thank you very much. I'll just make one last comment before she comes up. If you don't have a gig pay account, I wonder why you don't have one. But see, I don't think I can trust this thing anymore. All right, thank you very much. Thank you.